Thank you for the invitation to participate in this conference. I want to express my gratitude with some humor and wit in my lecture to the organizers. I will be a bit provocative just to make you think after the conference. And anyway, the text itself has so much wit in it that we just cannot help sometimes laughing or crying on it. The first thing is the motto of the text, God bless the Hungarians, which for us is the first line of the national anthem. However, for foreigners, it's lex imperfecta because it doesn't have any sanction in it. And the Hungarian lawmaker makes God to be obliged to do something in favor of the Hungarians. So for us, it has a true cultural meaning, but for the others, I think it's just, how can it be here? And I have some other ideas what to place for laws from poems as mottos. And let's see the genre of it. And before seeing the genre, I would like to say that I both have a degree from law and history and Japanese, and my thesis was, my PhD thesis was from the early modern political thought. So basically I am dealing with these symbols in texts. So that's why I'm happy that Professor Kruzlitz and Professor Korhetz made the theoretical introduction instead of me. So let's see the genre. It's national avowal. However, avowal is not a legal term. We have hitvallás, which is confession, or from the Tim Burton's Thesaurus, I have at least 40 other equivalent for avowal, which are legal avowal, like asseveration, admission, assurance, attestation, profession, pledge, contract, conviction, disclosure, testimony, oath, etc., etc. So it's definitely not avowal. However, let's see the national, hitvallás. Hitvallás is confession of the faith. My problem is the genre, that national confession of the faith. Okay, but the nation confesses her faith to whom? The citizens confesses his or her or their common faith to the nation, or to the supreme power, or to the government, or to the God, or to each other. Or people confesses their faith, that should be national. So anyway, this national confession of faith, that is the genre in the original version, means that it's a 3x3 matrix, and all the adjectives can be placed in any order, so it can have basically any meaning. The introduction part of the avowal is that we, the members of the Hungarian nation, and we all know that when a group of people starts its proclamation, declaration, or any document that we, the member of something, means that it is directly or indirectly from the US Constitution. Because they were the very first people at history, or group of history, who used the term that we, the people. Okay, and after that we have the proud part. We are proud of Saint Stephen, we are proud for the heroes, we are proud for the intellectual achievements, Rubik's Cube, vitamin C, etc. And we are proud that we were the watchtower or guarding bastion of Europe. But we forget to say that from Albania or Greek to Lithuania, all the nations were the watchtower and the guarding bastions of Europe, just at the time when they were fighting against the Ottoman Empire. So it's not a unique thing, and it's not a unique thing that we are proud of our intellectual achievements, especially for the Nobel laureates giving the Nobel Prize at American universities, although born in Budapest. And we are proud of our heroes, of course. All identity are proud of their heroes. For example, law students are proud of people who get 5 from Roman law. After that, we have the identity part. For example, we recognize the role of Christianity in preserving nationhood. Full point. We value the various religious traditions of our country. Well, I said you that when using symbols, either in text or in iconography, we have to be very cautious, because in English it is not a so strong sentence that it is in Hungarian, because we have Preserving nationhood is nemzetmegtartó. However, we have to be very careful for the dialectic parts of concepts. Because if we have preserving nation, then we should have forfeiting nation, so nemzetvesztő. And the concept forfeiting nation just immediately comes to your mind if you read the preserving nation, because it's a dialect pair of concepts. And as Professor Tamás Korhat said, that it's the identity of nation or political nation or whoever, but yes, we should be very sensitive using concepts, or especially a pair of concepts. So basically this sentence said that those who are not Christian will not preserve the nation. My problem is that in the interwar period in Hungary, they were the Jews, and if you just run a quick search on Google on your smartphone, you can have all the opposition against the supreme power of the government of Hungary. You will have quotations that who were the forfeitures of nation. And for the Second World War or interwar period, since they were the Jews, it means that it's very insulting or offensive for them. And we value or appreciate, this English version is the official translation, so I would use, we appreciate the various religious traditions of our country. My question is whether the lawmaker has the idea that we even have 900 years old Muslim tradition, because the Beszörmény people called Muslims in Old Hungarian, they were called Beszörménys, and even Géza I has a decree against them. Okay, so the two other part is the political and the cultural nation concept from Friedrich Meinecke, or it can be read as Klebersberg-Kuno legacy in the first time, and the second part is the political nation concept, which is unique that we have both. In history or legal history, we either have the French version, the political nation concept, or the German version, the cultural nation concept, but we have both here. Because we have authority over all Hungarians of the world and all foreigners living in Hungary. Here we have, yes, this is the tricky sentence again, because we should be really care for what we express. We believe that our national culture is a rich contribution to the diversity of European unity. It's again the symbols. Well, the motto of the EU is diversity in unity. However, the original one is just, if you just run again a quick search on internet and you type US Department, coat of arms, we have E pluribus unum, just as the motto of the US Department State. So the motto of the EU basically is the same as the motto of the US. However, this sentence is a tricky one, because I can read it in two ways, especially the Hungarian one. It depends on where I put the syllable, the emphasis. We believe that our national culture is a rich contribution to the diversity of European unity, so nation state has the supremacy. Or I can say that we believe that our national culture is a rich contribution to the diversity of European unity. So it means that the supremacy is at the European Union. So this is an ambiguous sentence just to use whether we are pro-Europe or stop Brussels or not. Let's see the other part, and this is, yes. I just cannot see from a legal historian's point of view that what's the difference between nation and people in this aspect, because I teach what's the difference between nation and people. However, in this case, for example, it can be solved, especially with the Hungarian one, because in the Hungarian original, the first nation is the people, and the second cooperation part is the nation. So, with this way, the policy for China and Taiwan can be solved, because we respect the peoples. Respect is a positive attitude, but doing nothing. However, cooperation is an active act, so doing something. So in this way, with the ethnic or national minorities, and with answering that who should we cooperate and who should we declare as independent state, can be answered. Let's see the other part. We hold that human existence is based on human dignity, is that existence is not a legal term of art. It should be life. However, maybe the lawmaker read Martin Heidegger and Jean-Paul Sartre just before the codification. That's why we have human existence. And anyway, the structure is pretty Marxist because we have a found and we have upper structure. So it's a sort of, we have, as you know, the existence is the base of everything and we have the upper structure. It's totally Marxism. This is Schrödinger's cat in constitutional legal term. We hold that individual freedom can only be complete in cooperation with others. I would be very happy to understand this cooperation, and I guess John Stuart Mill wouldn't. Okay, and this is from the Bible. We hold that the family and the nation constitute the principal framework of our coexistence, and that our fundamental cohesive values are loyalty, faith, and love. However, from the Bible we have faith, hope, and love. But we all know that hope remained at the box of Pandora, so that's why hope is replaced by loyalty. But the question is the same as the first question was: loyal to who? Who is the addressee of the national avowal? Okay, and let's see the top Marxist term of the avowal. We hold that the strength of a community and the honor of each person are based on labor and the achievement of the human mind. So, those people who are inactive are dishonored. Basically, students, mothers on maternity leave, and the old age pensioners. This is just a very miserable framing or wording because the honor of each person are based on labor. And considering the family policy or demographic policy of present-day Hungarian government, we should know that labor has another meaning. Labor means as well the pain that women suffer just at the time of giving birth to children. So it's szülési fájdalom as a third meaning. So those who have no labor, so pain during and suffer during giving birth, are dishonored too. And anyway, this joke was also said, it was not my invention, when Tony Blair won the election. Just at that night, his wife was giving birth to their children, and every English members of parliament said for Tony Blair that he had a hard labor. So the other part is that this is the hedonist part. We hold that the common goal of citizens and the state is to achieve the highest possible measure of well-being, safety, order, justice, and liberty. However, in the Hungarian version, it's that, and the state is to achieve the good life, and safety, order, justice, liberty. So, from Roman law, we have the concept of common good, or public good, necessitas bonum, bonum publicum, etc. But what is good life? What does good life mean? Wine, women, cocktails, beach, what? I have absolutely no idea, but I can clearly understand that justice and liberty are on the runaway part of the sentence, because we have safety and order first, just as the Minister of Internal Affairs would have put it. Okay, and the other, in 1 minute, yes, and in the 1 minute, we have the suspension of, we deny the suspension of the history constitution from the occupations, from the foreigners' occupations. However, we declare that from 1991, the whole public legal system is invalid. However, we declared that we lost our self-governance between 44 and 90. So this can be only just with the way of a Central Eastern European schizophrenic mind and way of history, because otherwise it is not impossible to travel in time and layers and things. And my last thing, that why the lawmaker should know or should have known that these terms are pretty Marxist, because so why, I said you that intellectual history is a tricky thing, because it means that that you have connotations, you have inspirations, you have imagination that comes to your mind hearing or listening to a sentence. The honor of each person are based on labor. From the 70s, and the person who wrote this Eötvös is just 60 years old, so he was József Szájer was just a teenager at the time when the famous Hungarian beat band Phonograph was singing and acting, and there is a famous song, and I translated for you it into English just to make the rhymes correctly. Until the labor is question of honor, I get truly thirsty of it, give me the beer. So in Hungarian, amíg a munka becsület dolga tisztességgel megszomjazom, lögd ide a sört. So this is a beat song, and this is a refrain of a beat song. So I am totally sure that Mr. Szájer sang it as a teenager. So it should have come to his mind that he was singing a mocking song towards socialist critics of society and critics of alcoholism. So that's why we should be really care for intellectual history, because we use terms, poems, whatever, sentences that maybe has a totally different origin. So I hope I could show you that even the national Eötvös even cannot fulfill its own aim to create identity, to create past, and to create a national Eötvös, because it has Marxism and whatever in it. Thank you.